And welcome to the CUP Ringside, part of the CUP Network, where you get the best seat in the house of all things wrestling. And today we're going to give you the best seat in the house with all of our thoughts on Backlash. So sit back, buckle up, let's get it going. I am Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea her. And if you happen to, you know what to do. Hit me up. I am currently just drinking some water right now because hydration is important. And I have not been feeling my best. So I'm trying to stay as hydrated as possible. But I'm drinking anything else, which I am going to be drinking later, is some tea. I'll be drinking out of a cup mug. Here. And you can get your cup mug or any of our cup merch at lanagcreations.etsy.com. The link will be in the description below. And we do ship domestically here in the U.S., in Mexico, and in Canada for sure. And guess what? International, we're back. I know what I have to do so you can get your cup merch internationally. I know what to do now. So check it out. Get your cup merch. Period.
Clearly, Etsy knew we were talking about Backlash France today because they
Uh
said,
huh.
okay, we can do international again. Also,
Mm-hmm.
the stream sort of glitched for like 5 seconds for me, and I thought we were about to get an Uncle Howdy teaser on this fucking the cup. Like,
You know.
I was like, oh, well, Uncle Howdy taking it over everything. Hello, everyone. I'm Lewis. I am still working on a wrestling quote. So I was gonna tie it up with British Bulldog or William Regal. I'm a man. I'm just a man. I'm a real man's man. I
Not
am very
Regal.
excited to talk about. I'm very excited to talk about the next European pay per view. I feel like it's been a while since. I mean, Money Bank London was probably the last one. So yeah, and we're going to France. France. That's a reference for Eurovision.
Oh.
Howdy, everybody. It's Brook, the Brook Hogan of the Cup, and I'm here repping it for Monday Night Raw because someone had to. This week, we're talking about Backlash. Backlash is here. It is an event. And I guess we're in France now. Sure. Uh, I'm excited to talk about it. I don't know if I'm excited to watch it, but either way, I'm here for it.
And I'm Donovan, Mr. Yeet Man himself. And let's talk about Backlash. It's a interesting pay per view to say the least.
It's a interesting, very small pay per view. I thought we were going to get more big feel,
For now.
but it's small for now. I feel like we might get more matches on Friday than SmackDown, so we might get some more matches to come out of Backlash. But right now we have five to talk about at the time of recording, and so we're going to talk about that. But first, let's get some business out of the way. We got three other channels for you to go and subscribe to. First, subscribe to this channel first. Do that. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Do all the things to let us know you support us because we appreciate you. Also, if you are a fan of Drag Race, reality TV, or Eurovision, we have three channels for you to go and support. The links will be in the description below in our link tree. So go hit that and connect to all of our channels and subscribe to all of them. And if you want to join our membership channel, we have exclusive content and early access content coming right at you on our uh, membership channel on our main channel, or if you're a fan of Patreon, we got that for you too. So hit all of the buttons, do all of the things. We appreciate you, and yeah. Now let's talk about some backlash. We're gonna get right into it because there's no time like the present. We don't have time to waste because we got things to do, y'all. Uh-huh.
Oh, we're starting
So
here.
we start here. We're gonna start right here because I feel like that's where we starting. And that was the first one that I pulled up. So that's the first one that went
No, I
on
love
the
it. I love it.
slideshow. So we have Kevin Owens and Randy Orton against Solo Sikoa and Tamatonga. What y'all think?
Yawn.
We're calling them the RKO show now. Is that like a stable name, or is that just? I would rock with it personally.
The
If
RKO.
the RKO show.
That's I like it.
Yeah. I I've been definitely interested since the Bloodline took on a new. I almost call it like cycle 2 of the Bloodline 2.0. Bloodline 2.0.
9.0, Bloodline like
9.0.
9.0.
But
Like,
like
look, quick note: the whole thing about Bloodline 2.0. Maybe this is the first time we've had a period of time without Roman on the product for an extended period of time with the Bloodline. But like, we've had Bloodline with Roman and the Usos and Paul. We've had them with Sammy, them with Sammy and Solo, them without Sammy and just Solo and them. And now we had it without Jay and Jimmy. Then we had it with just without Jay, and now we have it with Tama and without Roman. Like, the Bloodline has went through 9,000 different incarnations at this point. It's like Bloodline 900.0.
But there's still something that feels so free. And maybe it's just because we have someone who has not been on the product at all in Tamatonga. And because we haven't seen Roman, we're not sure what's going to happen when he comes back. How that relationship's going to be. We assume it's going to be quite skewered. I'm a fan of the Kevin Owens-Randy pairing. It does feel a bit random in that I don't know why they attacked Kevin. I don't know why. And I guess Randy just all of a sudden out of nowhere decides to come out and protect Kevin.
It's not random out of nowhere. It is they had a reason to attack Kevin now. And here's the reason why. Because Kevin, after the Bloodline lost at WrestleMania, and they went to the old locker room where they were supposed to go, where they usually
yes,
go.
I do remember that, yes.
And then Kevin was like, "You're not welcome here," you know, and kind of laughed. And with them, they kind of was like, "Oh, you insulting the Bloodline." So yeah, that wasn't random.
I will say with the Randy, it just feels like they're trying to give Randy something to do.
Yes.
I'm probably very. I'm interested. I'm invested in this match, but it's evident that that's not a universal opinion.
It's universal with me, Lewis. It's universal with me because I am a Bloodline girly. I don't care how many alterations or obliviations or how many times they can change it up. I will forever be a Bloodline girly. I will always acknowledge the Bloodline from here on ever, period. So I am that girl. She is me. So I like this Solo Tamatonga situation happening and the newness of who was going to be in charge now that Roman's not here. What's going to happen now that Roman's gone? And I like Solo stepping it up because he was named the next tribal chief by Roman. So it's like, yeah, it just seems natural for him to step up and take that leadership role and be the new leader. Although Roman isn't officially giving him the title or the name of tribal chief, it's like, he's never placed the crown on him. So now he's kind of acting out of order. But I don't mind the out of orderness because when Roman does come back, he's gonna be like, "You acting out of order, and you ain't doing stuff per the tribal chief. You doing this per you, and now I'm gonna have to show you why I'm the tribal chief." And then we will have this whole internal. I will never hate the Bloodline story. The Bloodline story will never get stale to me. I know some people don't agree with that, and that is perfectly fine. But I will never get tired of this story until they decide to just stop it completely. As long as it got legs and they keep rolling, I'm gonna roll with it. And I love Randy Orton and Kevin Owens separately, so of course I'm gonna love them together. I just think this is gonna be pretty fun and pretty interesting. I'm here for it.
It has nothing to do with the Bloodline that I am not interested in this match. Okay, nothing to do with that, right? Tamatonga, he's been presented great. I think he's been really interesting addition to not only SmackDown but to the Bloodline in general. Solo being in charge of the Bloodline, cool, whatever. Like I don't really love it, but I'm not like against it either. I think Lana raises some good points about he was anointed as the next tribal chief. Roman's gone. It makes sense, but like I just don't like this feud. I don't think it really has any point of existing outside of getting Tama Tonga and this new iteration of the Bloodline over. And like Solo's already over. He's already part of the Bloodline. I feel like everybody that's ever touched that stable is over. And like Tama, sure, maybe he needs to build a connection with the fans, but him attacking Jimmy Uso and jumping him out of the Bloodline wasn't enough. Like I don't get it. And I mean, when I say I don't get it, not that I don't get that they need to do more with him than just that. Obviously they do, but specifically Randy and Kevin just don't feel like the right people for them to be feuding with right now. Because it feels wrong to me. I know we've like established that they are friends in canon now, like the whole WrestleMania stuff, them driving down together in the golf cart, and like they teamed together at War Games last year. Like it's well established at this point. I mean, Kevin wasn't in that match. What am I talking about? But I don't know. I'm just not feeling it, personally.
I agree with everybody. I understand why Randy and Kevin are in this tag team right now. They went through their little thing at WrestleMania. Now they're friends, I guess. But it does seem a little odd that that's the match right now. But I'm interested to see how Tama Tonga does in this match. Are they gonna book him to look like a monster like they did Solo when he first came? Um yeah, this it kind of feels like a a filler match to prolong their story until Roman comes back, but I'm not mad at it. I know Randy and Kevin Owens can wrestle. Solo's at least he's not a cone in the ring. So I think it'll be an interesting, fun match.
I mean, I think something you said, Brooke. You said that Solo is over enough. I don't know if he is. I think just because he's in the bloodline, he's been part of a story. I don't think Solo himself is over enough. And I feel like this is the moment where they can get him to the point where he's going to be a really great heel and people are just going to hate him, or he's going to finally get to that point where he's over with the fans. And because he hadn't shown his leadership skills when he was behind Roman, because everybody thinks he did Roman's bidding. And he did. He did Roman's bidding. Now it's time for Solo to do Solo's bidding and, walk that walk with Solo. So I think this is the moment where he has to shine and do that thing.
Something that I used to think about Solo, right, when he first came up, and I mean, even after his match with Cena, right, at Crown Jewel last year, Solo used to have an aura. Like he was one of those guys that you could just look at and you're like, oh dear Lord, Solo Sikoa, right? Like he kind of had like that thing that Umaga had when he first came out, and like people like I would say Damian Priest is getting to that point nowadays too, where like they come out and like, oh shit, okay, something's about to go down, right? The amount of Black Hoodie attacks that they did with him after that match with John, and then doing nothing else with his character since then until now, I don't think that helped. And I don't think that it positioned him well to be dealing with this, because from what we've heard, right, they've been planning on Roman dropping the belt at 40 since the last WrestleMania, right? So in that situation, you have to figure, okay, well, Roman's gone. What are we doing then? You would think that they would maybe have built Solo up a little bit more to have him in a spot where he could easily transition into this, right? I don't think him being in charge doesn't make sense. I think it makes perfect sense. I just don't think the way they have went about it has made me interested in this feud with Randy and Kevin, because to me, Randy and Kevin feel above this, above like this feud, right? Being two top level guys thrown in a tag team match at a B pay-per-view because Solo and Tama need somebody to beat up. I don't know if Randy and Kevin are the right two people for that. And I also don't even know if I think they're losing this match. I think it could go either way at this point, just based on the fact that Randy and Kevin are big name dudes, and I don't, even if they get the win here, I don't feel like it's gonna do much for Solo and Tama. Personally,
To kind of piggyback on what Brooke said, I can see where you're coming from about Randy and Kevin being in a way above this feud, but I don't. It's not a. To me, it's not a full on feud. It's just a match. So that's why I think it works. They get the win over two established main event players in the WWE. To a degree, it's gonna be like okay, and the hope would be that it makes people more interested in Tama Tonga and this new iteration of the bloodline, which now pushes the story along to where we get back into the actual bloodline civil war. So I see where you're coming from to an extent about them being above it, but since it's not a feud, I'm okay with it.
maybe above it wasn't the right word. It just more feels like there are other people that could be filling this slot than Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, if that makes any sense, right?
Who would you suggest?
Yeah, like several people, half of the SmackDown roster, an actual tag team, maybe.
Pretty
like-
deadly.
Okay, not pretty deadly, but like
Well,
I mean,
Well,
hell,
who
the
then?
rosters haven't locked yet. This could have been LWO stuff. I mean, you could have had Ray and Dragon Lee in this slot. Granted, I understand people may not like that particular pick, but it's the first people off the top of my head here. One, but two, it just feels weird, and I can't really say specifically who, but these two just don't feel like the right puzzle piece that goes into this feud to me.
Okay. I respect that. So let's do predictions. Lewis, who do you think is
first of all, I'm
winning
very excited to see the presentation of Tama. I don't know if they're going to come out together or if Tama's going to get his own entrance. I hope that Tama
Oh,
gets his own
this? Me
entrance.
too.
I'll go Bloodline.
Donovan.
I'm gonna go Bloodline 2.0.
5000.0.
I
Brooke.
think
I think it's
Well-
a 50-50 call for me because on the
You
one hand,
can and you will.
I know I'm thinking. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm gonna pick Randy and Kevin
Okay.
only because I think they're going to let Solo fail as the new tribal chief, and I think that things are gonna go down. I think the bloodline needs to be in chaos whenever Roman comes back, and then winning here does not lend itself to that.
Okay. I'm going to pick the bloodline because I always do, and I always will. Thank you.
Because they won't let us live it down if we don't mention it. We've got predictions from
Oh, yes.
yes,
We do have predictions from
Wes and
what says the bloodline is winning.
and Topher says Bloodline.
And Topher also says the bloodline is winning. There we
Woo,
go.
contrarian. Woo.
Brooke, I
Alright.
do like that scenario of them losing and the bloodline being in total chaos. I do like that scenario. I just don't see it happening.
Valid.
Let's talk about the match that I'm very excited to talk about. It is the Kabuki Warriors against Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. This is a pretty poster. I'm just gonna say these girls are gorgeous. Anyway, is there much to talk about? I know what's happening in this match. We all know what's happening in this match. They have made this very clear and evident what is going to happen in this match. And I'm very happy that it's going to happen in this match because I'm like, absolutely sure, why not? Not that I am saying that the Kabuki Warriors are not good or deserving champions. They have been. They've been rocking it. They've been killing it. I love them as a tag team. I hope they just go back and forth between them for a while, and I would love watching every single match. But I think it's time for Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair to have these belts so we can get that part out of the way because we know they're going to get the belts. They're going to be champions for a while. Then they're going to lose the belts. Then they're going to separate. And then one of them going to turn heel. And I'm going to love to see which one does it. And I can't wait for the Bianca versus Jade Cargill at some point because that is going to be amazing. But right now, I'm living for these two. I'm living for the two. I'm living for the big three, as they calling themselves right now. I'm living for them, so I am enjoying this moment. And yeah, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair will totally win this match. But it's not going to be an easy smash match. It's going to be a good match because Kabuki Warriors are not ones to play with. And I'm going to enjoy the feud that happens with this match.
I mean, you asked if there's anything to talk about. I think there is something to talk about. It's kind of weird to me that we just had the 6-woman tag at Mania, and then Naomi is like immediately gone from any storyline involving Kabuki Warriors here, and like Damage Control. I don't think it's a bad thing. I'm happy she's getting a title match at this pay-per-view because, dear God, she deserves it. But it's just odd to me. Like, this whole card feels a little bit weird. However, will I ever be mad at Bianca or Jade winning tag gold? No. As much as I love Asuka and Kairi, they have been champs for about 4 months. And as we know, WWE doesn't care to have long-term title reigns with the women's tag titles. So 4 months is about as long as they need. And, you know, they're moving on to Raw. All of them are moving to Raw. Well, not all of them, but Kairi and Asuka are moving to Raw. With the rest of Damage Control, we're going to see what shenanigans they get into over there. But for now, Jade and Bianca can sit upon their rightful throne on top of the women's tag division. And I think we're going to be fine.
Absolutely.
As long as it's a good match and not a complete squash,
Yes.
I'm okay with it. I will put this theory out there. It's not mine, but I heard it from another YouTuber. They could have Bianca and Jade lose, which could be the spark of their feud. But and I don't see it happening. But another thing he said was, when they win the titles, because that's my pick, they're gonna win the titles. Who are you gonna have beat them to take the titles off of them? I don't see right now anybody on the roster that can legit take them titles off of them.
I mean, I definitely think that's a current problem, but I don't see them losing the titles anytime soon. So
Yeah.
like, you have plenty of time to build somebody up. I mean, Alba and Isla just got drafted to Raw.
Yeah.
You could be doing something with them.
That's
I don't think it's going to be Chelsea and Piper, but they just got
No.
moved. Candice and Indy just got moved. Like, there's a lot of women's tag teams
Kaden-
now. We're getting to that
Kaden
point.
Katana.
Kane and Katana
Yep.
too. That are getting built up to the point where one of them could reasonably challenge them down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's going to be anytime soon, so we don't got to worry about that yet.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I wouldn't be surprised if they lose the belts to their own detriment. Like they do something to fuck each other up. But yeah, again, I don't think that's happening anytime soon. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they go on to, which granted, this probably isn't saying a lot, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go on to have the longest reign of the women's tag belts.
Let's see, what is the current longest reign with those belts?
That is a good question. Probably like 4 months, like you.
Okay, the current longest reign with the women's tag titles is the first reign for the Kabuki Warriors, which is 172 days. So like 6 months.
I feel safe in saying I think that they're going to last longer than 6 months.
I hope and pray.
I think this current Kabuki title run has run its course, and it doesn't feel like they're rushing into this. Like they built this up for a substantial amount of time, so it feels right. Again, I'm excited to see what happens at the end of the Bianca Jade reign. If we're talking about who's going to be heel, we've seen already on another product that Jade can do a really good heel. So I would personally like that to be the direction, but again, we're talking way ahead of time. I'm pretty safe in saying that we're going to get new champs here.
Absolutely.
And I made a face when you said who's going to be the heel. Me personally, I don't see a world where they make Jade the heel in that situation. We've we've been longing for a Bianca heel turn for a while. I don't see a scenario in where they turn Jade heel. I think they finally pulled the trigger and turn Bianca heel.
I mean, only thing was I would say I would think they would make Jade a heel and not Bianca is because I think Bianca's so over as a face. And yes, she did do a good heel in NXT, but ever since she's been on the main roster, she's been a face. She's been a face from jump, and now she is like the face of the women's locker room, with even without holding the title. Like she has, she has a reality show. She's the face of 2K, 24. And so she's like, she's this personality, she's the face. And I don't know if turning her heel right now would be the best. And with Jade, she's new, she's coming in, she already has this air about her. And so her turning heel would not hurt her brand because she already has this, like she has this aura about her that she could be very if she wanted to, and nobody's gonna be like, I don't like Jade. We still gonna like Jade. She just gonna be one of those heels that we like. I don't think Bianca, because even Bianca said something um, in an interview that I was watching recently. She was talking about Montez, that how they were trying to turn the Street Profits heel, and the crowd just would never go for it. Like anytime they would do something, the crowd would cheer. And they were like, they tried several times to turn the Street Profits heel, and the crowd just wouldn't. They didn't buy it. They were just like, yeah, we like them. I feel like it'll be the same way with Bianca. She can try to turn heel, but folks would just be like, "Woo, Bianca, woo!" Nobody would do it because she's so over as a face. Jade, on the other hand, has been a heel before. People have seen her on the other brand as a heel, and they still liked her. I think all she have to do is just tap back into that, and she'll be all right, and it'll work.
And something you mentioned there a second ago, Jade has this something about her. It's an aura. Like
It's
just like I
aura.
mentioned with Sola, Jade has an aura. They made it. I don't know how they have made a wrestler who has had, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, 3 televised matches have an aura, but they did it. And I think part of that just comes to the fact that Jade has a natural charisma that that it just exudes off her from
Yep.
existing.
Absolutely.
And Bianca has the same thing. I think
Yes.
that's part of the reason that they're both like, it's such a cool idea for a tag team, and it's going to be such a great Mania match next year, and I can't wait. But for now, we got to start the story somewhere, and we're starting with them taking the belts off the Kabuki Warriors at Backlash.
Absolutely. I guess I don't have to think. Everybody think differently. Everybody's thinking the same. And I think as far as our televotes, everybody's televotes, they all say Bianca and Jade are winning. So everybody agrees Bianca and Jade are winning this match.
Well, just get
We
swerved.
got served.
To be fair, it
Whoa,
happened at
bring it back.
Mania. We all called LWO, and they we
On
all
the
thought against
topic.
LWO, and then they won.
On the
So, I
topic,
mean,
WWE bring back Swerved.
All right.
please don't do that.
Anyway, we move on to the Damian Priest versus the Yeet Man himself, Jay Uso. I'm gonna let y'all start because I feel like I might have a different opinion of others than you all might have of this match. So, what y'all say?
I'll start.
Yeet.
Me
It's in my header. I think Jay's winning.
too. Me too.
Please
I
explain.
really do think that.
I think
I'll
he's
hear you
winning.
out, but please explain because I'm curious.
I think he's winning, but it had nothing to do with him getting the title. I think he's winning at the expense of the Judgment Day, and they're starting to tell that story of the Judgment Day falling apart now that Rhea's gone. She was the piece that held the Judgment Day all together because Rhea specifically said, "Hold everybody together while I'm gone." And once he loses that title, I think that because you can tell, like y'all been saying, so Solo's aura Jay's aura. Ever since he got the belt, he's had an aura to him, which has made him the leader of the Judgment Day, and nobody's really questioned it. I feel once he loses the belt, he's gonna lose a little bit of his aura, which could, which in turn could make the Judgment Day more so Finn Balor be like, "Hey, I've been here way longer than you. You don't. I'm not gonna listen to you. I know more. I'm the better wrestler. This, that, and the third. I think him losing the belt is signaling the end of the Judgment Day, and I think Jay's winning.
Okay, hear me out. I don't know if he win. If Jay is losing. I mean, if Damian is losing the belt, but I do think Jay is winning this match because Damian Priest has been very much on a.
Power
I
trip.
don't want your help. I don't need your help. Stay away when I'm trying to win my matches. I don't need your help. But for some reason, the Judgment Day does not listen. And for whatever reason happens, they always tend to mess up the match. So I feel like they are going to mess this match up. Now, if Jay gets the belt because the ref don't see it and he loses, then it is what it is. But Damian Priest is going to lose this match because the Judgment Day is going to screw it up some way or another. If they get the DQ and Jay don't win the belt, it's fine. It is what it is because Damian just got the belt. So him losing the belt would seem tragic, but if he does lose the belt, it just plays along with that. This Judgment Day is about to implode so fast because they don't know how to not interfere in matches. And without the help of Rhea telling them what to do, they always seem to screw it up. So I personally feel like Jay is going to win this match. If he gets the belt or not, I'm not sure. But it's not going to. Damian Priest is not winning this match. Jay is going to win, and Damian Priest is going to have the Judgment Day to blame for the loss.
See, I'm of two minds on this. I think one part of me is like, yeah, Damian just won the belt. They've been booking him really strong. He hasn't taken a loss since then. At least he hasn't been pinned. Sure, JD McDonough has been getting portrayed like a dum-dum as usual. Finn Balor has been mostly off TV. Dom's out with an injury. Rhea's out with an injury. I don't know if this is where Damian loses the belt. Period. To me, I don't think it's time for that yet. I feel like they have more they can tell with the story of like maybe pulling it up. I don't think Jay is at the point where he needs the world title either, and I think that's the problem. I think Jay is so over that putting the belt on him doesn't really make sense to me because I don't really know who he'd feud with for that title right now. I don't see anybody who's like right there immediately available for him to feud with. So at that point, it comes back down to if it doesn't make sense to change it, keep it the same. So I think Damian's going to win, but I could see a world where Jay wins as well.
I'm gonna believe the world that Damien gets a win. I do believe, obviously, that there's gonna be Judgment Day nonsense. I think it's gonna be one of those near miss situations. Again, Damien's just won the thing in one of the biggest matches in Mania that weekend. I don't know. I think it's way too early. I do agree that this Judgment Day thing is getting interesting. But I feel like it's way too early to have that cost Damien at this point, especially like when Brook said there isn't really anyone that makes sense for Jay at this moment in time if Jay does win the belt here. I just hope that they have the right fucking producers on this match.
I don't think, like I said, I don't know if Damien's going to lose the belt, but he ain't winning this match because the Judgment Day is going to screw it up like they've been screwing him over. I don't think he's going to lose his belt because it's going to happen in a disqualification. But I do believe Jay is going to win this match.
I don't know if I believe that. I don't think it's going to be a DQ finish, personally.
I think you can put the bet on Jay because the same thing we're saying, well, you guys are saying about who is he going to feud with. We said the same thing at WrestleMania after Cody won the belt. Who is his first feud going to be? As long as you have the right producers, you can tell the story. I think I don't like. You can have him lose it right back to Priest. You can
Right.
have you can have Drew win it and him hold it to SummerSlam. So you got your main heel and your main face as the two top champions. I see a world where Jay can win this belt. I believe Jay's winning the belt.
The Drew thing makes more sense with Damien, personally.
See, to me, the big thing that I was saying about it was that you said we didn't really have anybody immediately lined up for Cody. I think the big difference there was it wasn't anybody who would be like the apparent first feud, but there were options on the table that made sense, right? Like we know he's probably going to do the SmackDown. SmackDown has a loaded top half of their card for the men. AJ Styles was definitely somebody in contention for that, so I wasn't too surprised. Jay winning here, right? Because if Jay wins, they're not going to just slingshot us back into Jay versus Damien for the belt again. I feel like we're beyond that. Who would Jay feud with after he wins the belt? The only person that makes sense to me is maybe Drew McIntyre, but like, what would be the point in having all of this happen to begin with? Like, it just seems like there's too many obstacles in the way for me to believe Jay's winning this match, if that makes any sense.
I guess we'll just have to see on Saturday. I knew this one was going to be a level of contention. So let's move to the women's championship match.
Well, televoters.
I'll tell. They both said that Damian Priest is winning.
Okay.
Taste.
Yeah, they both said Damian Priest is winning. West and Topher, our televoters. Bailey versus Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton in this match. What we think?
This is the best idea for a match I have seen in a hot minute. Because not only are you getting Tiffany Stratton in a women's title match on pay-per-view, which I fully support because she is great. You're getting Naomi in a women's title match on pay-per-view, which is great, and I fully support. But you're also letting Bailey have a reasonably understandable match for her first defense as champion. And I think all three of these women are great, and I think this is going to be a fantastic triple threat if they give them enough time. Give them a lot of time. And we also have the lingering presence of Nia Jax around all of this now. So don't expect this match to end clean. And if it does end clean, I think we're getting Nia immediately after the match. But, I mean, honestly, I think there's a world where Nia just gets inserted into this match on SmackDown. But, I mean, we'll see. I don't think Bailey's losing the belt. She just won it. It was a really good feel-good moment. I think Tiffany's here to eat the pin, unfortunately, because I don't think they're going to let Bailey pin Naomi. That just would not vibe with where her character is right now. So, whatever, but Bailey's winning this match.
I think Naomi's here to eat the pin. As much as it pains me to say it, the fact that Tiffany Stratton just got called up and she's already in the match for the women's championship, to me is signifying that she's gonna get the belt at some point. And if your plan is to put the belt on her, maybe SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series, I don't see her first match on the main roster, to my knowledge, her eating the pin. I think that's why Naomi's here. But I do agree with Brook. Bailey's retaining.
I mean, Tiffany's had matches on the main roster. She was in Elimination Chamber this past year.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like she's just got called up. She's been around for a bit. It's just, I get where you're coming from, though, because I do think you don't want her to just get called up and be around for a little bit, get close to the belt, and then just pin after pin after pin. I totally see that argument.
Yeah, I think Naomi's here to eat the pin, and Bailey wins.
If Tiffany does eat the pin, I just hope that doesn't kill her moment. That's my only thing. I really hope that doesn't kill her momentum, because I think Tiffany's done stellar work since being brought up. I do agree there's the Nia factor, and it doesn't make sense. If Nia is coming out at the end of the match, it doesn't make sense for Tiffany to win. If Nia gets involved in the match, that is a factor that could benefit Tiffany. Tiffany has me in a chokehold. Tiffany truly has me in a chokehold. I genuinely, I have.
Would you say that for you it is Tiffy time?
It's not Tiffy time yet, but I want it to be Tiffy time in the very near future. Yeah.
I like Tiffany Stratton. I want Tiffany to have Tiffy time. She deserves to have a Tiffy time at some point. I'm not as in the near future as Lewis, but at some point, she deserves to have Tiffy time. I just need more from her. Like, I want her character to be more developed, because this character that she's doing right now is more annoying to me than it is like wanting to. Like, I get it. We've had the I'm Tiffy time, and that, the I'm cute, and but she's also so talented, and that's the difference between a lot of the girls in the past who had this demeanor about them, like she's given like the Mandy Rose of the world. Like, it was the she was very beautiful and talented, but they focused more on the beauty side of it than how talented she really was. And I feel like Tiffany is so talented that we can focus more on her talent than how beautiful she is, And I want that to be her thing. Like, nobody's running around talking about Charlotte Flair isn't running around like, I'm Charlotte Flair and I'm so pretty, and because she has the talent that everybody's looking at, and it's like, she's so talented. That's what we're focusing on. That's how amazing. And I feel like that's Tiffany Stratton. That's how amazing she could be. I just want to see that growth and development in her. I definitely think Bayley's winning. There's no reason to take the belt off of Bayley right now. There's absolutely no reason to do that. I think Naomi might take the pin, which I hate, because I feel like we just going back to where it was before she left in the first place. And we're not going to act like her 2 years where she was out doing greatness. We're not going to let that take root into what she's doing. And we're not going to let that mean anything, because she has done great things her 2 years away from this company that I feel like it should. I see you, Lewis. I'm going to come to you. Let me finish my statement. I feel like it's going to come to, I feel like it's not being appreciated, all the things that she done when she was away, and it's like, now you have to start all the way over. And so I feel like they're just going to continue to give her this mediocre booking, which I hate. But Lewis,
I was going to say, if Naomi does take the pin, I only hope that it builds some sort of tension between her and Bayley. I think if that's the direction, I wouldn't mind it.
Okay,
I wouldn't mind Naomi taking the pin on that basis alone.
I agree with that. I can see that. Now, if they do that, then I'll be like, okay, let's have some tension, because now we're friends, and it's like the whole Bayley Sasha Banks situation where they were friends, but the tension was building, and then they became enemies. So if they're gonna do that, I'm here for it. Let's do that. But if you just go let them be friends still, and there's no tension, and you just need to pin somebody, and it's gonna be Naomi, then I have a problem with that. But
I fully agree with that. I do not want Naomi taking the pin in this match. I do not want that at all. If I had a choice between Tiffany Stratton taking this pin, Naomi taking this pin, or Nia Jax taking this pin, Naomi is clear and away my least wanted choice.
Mhm.
Period.
Yeah.
But Bailey's winning. Yeah, we all agree.
And our televoters also agree that Bailey is winning.
Imagine Nia just comes to SmackDown and wins the title immediately.
Uh,
Boy,
my goodness.
happy.
And finally, last but not least, we have Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles for the Universal Championship.
This looks so AI generated.
It's so bad. This was the worst one. This one is the worst one. I was like, ew, that's it? Everybody else's look fine. Everybody else's look fine.
It's AJ's hair.
Yeah,
AJ's hair.
looks so bad. So bad. I was like, ew. But that's what it is.
I mean,
Okay.
Jesus.
That's true. Jesus.
So let me ask, okay, because this is the match I am the most curious about everyone's opinions on, okay?
Mhm.
If you had the choice on who won this match, okay, not who you think is going to win, on who you want to win, how many people here are picking AJ Styles? Because I'm picking AJ Styles.
Who I would want to win this match?
Yes.
Oh, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. Now, who's actually picking AJ Styles? No one here.
Nobody.
But,
Nobody's picking AJ Styles.
But it's so much more interesting if AJ wins. Anytime you have these big, long-term, long-build title runs that people come up, I have been waiting for them to do a storyline for years, right? Where somebody wins the title, right? And it was a hard-fought road for them to get to the title, and then they immediately lose it, right? How do they react to that? Where does their character go? Like, it's such a captivating idea in my brain that I would love to see it, especially with a character like Cody, whose entire time in this company has been centered around him wanting to win the WWE title since he came back for the past 3 years, outside of his first 2 or 3 months with Seth, right? I want Cody to lose this belt in this match so badly, but I know it's not gonna happen. I know he's winning. I know AJ's not winning this match. I want him to, because he is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, period. And he's also retiring soon-ish. So I want him to have one more run with the belt before he leaves, but let's face it, he's probably not gonna. But the idea of Cody losing this match is so tempting to me that I know it's too smart for WWE to ever do it.
To a degree, I think what you just said you want to see, they're doing with Drew.
But I think the big difference there, too, is that Drew's thing was having the moment at Mania, and in a way, he got what he wanted, right? He had the belt. Granted, he lost it 5 minutes later, but,
he
Drew's
raised
a
it in front of the
heel.
crowd.
Yeah, Drew's a heel, and we've seen that before, right? We've seen the heel get the belt, haha, cocky heel, and then lose the belt really quick. We have never had a face win the belt like this and then just lose it really quickly. I think it's such a compelling story, especially now that AJ seems to be playing a bit of a tweener instead of just a straight up heel. Because then it's not even going to be boo AJ. It's going to be, oh shit, what the hell just happened? Where does everyone go? That's so captivating to me.
I was going to say the only example I have, granted it was Money in the Bank cash-in, was the Daniel Bryan where he literally just won and then all of a sudden Randy comes out. Bam. I think this match is nothing more than a bucket list item. Cody really wanted this. I think Cody was like, what was it AJ that wanted? I can't remember. I think it was Cody that was like, I really want to face AJ in the near future. Granted, again, AJ's not got a lot of time left. I hope he stays longer than Ray. I'll say that.
Well, AJ is younger than him by a year, so hopefully that happens too.
I do agree. I want an AJ title run. I don't know if it's. I do want a main title run. I wouldn't mind if he's the one to take the other title, the US title. I think that he can do something interesting there that Logan Paul isn't. I mean, I think AJ is going to do a lot more with it than Logan is. Yeah, I don't know. It's not happening here. Yeah, no, I'm interested in what they do with the match. I hope that it's a well-produced match. That's all I'll say, because there's nothing I can say on the storyline aspect of it.
Lana, you're muted.
I know, because I was waiting on Donovan to say something.
I already won.
No.
I said Cody was winning.
I thought you had more to say.
Oh, I
All right, you have nothing to say.
Yeah, nice
Okay.
gowns, beautiful gowns.
this is like to me, this match is so predictable. It's like, what else can I say has already been said?
That's fair.
That's true. I think this is just for his first match, like defending the championship after WrestleMania. Da da da. It is what it is. It's gonna be a good match, I think, but it's gonna be predictable. Cody's winning, AJ's not, but I think it's gonna be a good match. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm
Um,
excited.
Oh, I'm assuming everyone else predicted Cody.
Yes, everybody said Cody. Our televotes all said Cody, and yeah.
I'll comment on one other thing that's possibly been teased. Cena's been spotted in France. That might be one or two things. Either A, Cena disappearing in the PLE, which, granted, it happens all the fucking time. It's nothing interesting at this point. Or B, he's been planted in France to have people speculate that he's going to be at the PLE and then just take the next flight back to the States. So, either way, that's the only other interesting thing that has happened recently. I hope we get some other match, even if it's like on the countdown to Backlash as we're coining it now. Even if it's like on the kickoff show, give us something else to talk about, please, WWE.
We would love something else to talk about, but you know,
Mhm.
who really
On the bright
knows?
side, if these are the only matches, every match should get time. You ain't rushing. You got 5 matches. Every match should get a good amount of time. You would think.
Well, let me ask then, okay? Theoretical role, y'all think this pay-per-view is kind of light on matches, light on content? What would we book? Let's say we have the writer's pin. We can book one more match for this pay-per-view of our choice, each of us. What are we throwing on the card here?
I don't know, something from the Intercontinental picture.
I would.
I thought they were throwing in the SmackDown championships with the Street Profits against A Town Down Under.
Oh,
That's what I thought they would do.
Personally, I would book Awesome Truth defending the World Tag Titles against AOP. Granted, I know that's probably a minority opinion. They are not on the NXT roster. They are not. They were drafted to Raw. Okay. So
I thought they were going against DIY then.
I think it's just something about having
Yeah,
the
why go drop the
Intercontinental.
SmackDown?
It's something about having the Intercontinental Championship defended on another continent per namesake. That would.
that's the Castles
would,
next month.
I like where your head is at. I was gonna say you get Logan Paul on that card if possible.
That's not possible. You only paid by.
I'm kind of stunned we got him on a Raw this month. Like, honestly,
he's the poster child for SummerSlam. Is in his hometown.
That's why he's not losing.
Exactly. He would win, but what? If to me, it would be a way to build a hype towards SummerSlam. You get him at least on the card somewhere.
Sure. Well, we'll see what happens. Go ahead.
Have we had Logan LA yet?
no, that's gonna be SummerSlam though, probably. If I had to guess.
I don't know. I just feel like whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. If we get more matches, we'll find out on Friday. But as of right now, when we are recording this video,
Oh, Friday's from France. Friday's SmackDown's from
Friday
France.
is from France.
Yeah.
So,
And they got a pickup show as well. Yeah.
so we'll see what happens. But we have all predictions, and so we'll see who is going to be right and who's going to come back and be the person who takes over our recap show. So we'll see. But if you're here and you stuck around this whole time, we appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button on your way out and the notification bell. Go look at our link tree. Get all the channels for all of our 3 of our other channels in the Cup Network, and hit the subscribe buttons over there. Join our membership channel. Follow us on all of our socials at the Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can also join all of us. You see that it's ticking down below. Follow us as well. Get your cup merch, period. And we're going to get out of here because guess what? We still not done. We still got stuff to do today. So, yeah. We'll see y'all next time for our recap show. So, cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Oui, oui,
Boy.
baguette. Oui,
Oui,
oui.
oui, baguettes. French bread.
Yeah,
Croissants.
croissants, berets.
Beret.